Hey guys, this is your host, ZACK RILING, and this is the official X-Men The Uncanny Evolution podcast. And today we are going to be covering X2, X-Men United. This is the sequel to 2000's X-Men. We already covered that in the first episode of the podcast. If you haven't heard that, go back and check that one out. Today's episode will hopefully be an improved version of that. Hopefully not as many pauses in between the show. Hopefully me giving you more discussions throughout each scene of the movie, not just ones that I feel like need them. I want to make sure that we make sure everyone has a voice that they feel like that they can hear themselves in when they're listening to this podcast. So, without further ado, I am not listening, my bad. I am going to be watching X2 X-Men United on Disney Plus. I do have the DVD for this, as I've stated previously in the last episode, but I want to make sure I watch this on a platform that I know everyone has access to, given that certain people don't have access to the social media version of this movie. So, if you guys are watching this on Disney Plus with me, I have this on the X2 menu right now. Right now, I am looking at the play button and the poster for it. And before we get started, I just wanted to point out a few things I thought were funny in the poster. Specifically, how they have Pyro framed right behind Jean Grey in the, I guess you could say, front right of the poster. It is really funny to look at. It looks like he's creeping behind her, and he's all like, "Hey, what are you doing?" "Yeah, I'm right behind here too. Look at me." And then how Nightcrawler, it looks like they just took one of his still shots from either their photography or the movie and just threw him right behind Professor X and Storm in this like really creepy pose, like, "Yeah, I'm back here too. Take a look at me." So I just thought that pointed out some humor into it. So I thought I'd give you guys a laugh at that if you guys are looking at the same thing with me right now. So, but without further ado, why don't we get started and get into this movie? The movie is from 2003. It's PG-13. It is 2 hours and 14 minutes. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this like me. This is my favorite movie out of the original X-Men trilogy. It just has so much more Wolverine's backstory into it. I thought they did a good job telling it. You see more flashbacks that we got from the first X-Men movie before they kind of retconned most of his origin in X-Men Origins Wolverine. So, and like I said in the poster I was talking about, there's Nightcrawler in this. This introduces Nightcrawler for the first time into the X-Men franchise. So, we've seen another actor portray him in the newer ones after X-Men First Class. That was in X-Men Apocalypse, I believe. He didn't really leave a note in mind for me that warranted him to be like remembered for the character. He did a fair job as him, but Alan Cummings is who portrays Nightcrawler in this movie, and he does a wonderful job playing this more religious version of the character. I know he is religious in the comic books, but they made it more prominent in this movie. He doesn't have his iconic red, black, and white gloves. The red and black suit and the white gloves that he has in the comics. They gave him more of a toned down look like they did the rest of the X-Men in this movie. So, but with all that out of the way, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the movie. I'm going to hit the play button. We'll be loading into the movie. I will do a countdown before I hit play button. It'll be 3, 2, 1, and then I will hit the play button. All right, guys, without further ado, let's go. 3, 2, 1. And we're at the loading screen. And here we go. At any moment. Now, here we go. And we're at the Fox logo. Drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. Dun 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 do 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 yeah. A News Corporation company. Fanfare ends. I do have the subtitles on with me, guys, so I will be reading those along with me. I was originally going to do this with no audio at all, but I will be listening to the audio with this on headphones, so that way I can better give you descriptions of what I am watching and what you are. I will be giving you commentary from behind the scenes on this, and I will be making some jokes along the way, because this is a podcast and we all have humor, don't we? So we open up with Sir Patrick Stewart narrating, just like we did with the first X-Men movie, with this visual. This time it looks like space with stars, but as we will evidently know, this will eventually lead into what Cerebro kind of shows him and what he sees when he's using it in mutants. We even get this little visual right here of this clear space humanoid thing. And now we're traveling through what looks like a brain. I can't tell if this is nerves or what. They always had some really good openings in these movies. Uh, some of them are a little disorienting, like this one, but as I've stated, I love the detail with these CGI openings. We got these a lot of the time in the early 2000s, like I said in the first episode. You guys are going to hear me talking about it a lot because I really like them. I wish some of them would come back. I don't think we need them in all movies, but maybe big spectacle movies like these, it'd be cool to get them back. And then I love how it closes with the X-Men doors for Cerebro, the giant X. And then we have the White House opening. This is probably my favorite opening to a X-Men movie that they've ever done out of all the ones they've made. This is where we get introduced to Nightcrawler, and he is, as we've come to know later on in the movie, he's being taken control of by Stryker, who Wolverine wants answers from for his past. And I like how we kind of see him just hiding in the back of this crowd, just in like incognito. And now that I'm older, I'm kind of noticing that he's not fully blue when he's in that getup. I'm wondering if he's wearing some makeup of some kind and he wipes it off, if he has any kind of control over his skin color in this, as weird as that sounds. And the guard heard him transport himself. Kind of sounds like someone shat themselves when he transported, when he uses his powers. Oh, someone shat in another corner. I kind of like that iconography with him standing next to the JFK painting. Here we go. Here we get it. We're going to get into the action with the ominous music. I love the reveal of his tail. Like something's about to happen as soon as you see the tail. And then we got the intense music. I love how operatic it is. Operatic, sorry guys, can't speak today. Then we got them getting the president. Nightcrawler just going all acrobatic crazy. I like how they depicted him as an acrobat in this because he really is like that from what we see in the comic books. I also like how they depict his transportation, the way it looks, how he, like, whenever he transportates, I can't speak, whenever he uses his power, that's what I'm just going to say for now. Whenever he uses his power, they always give it this smoky looking effect when he gets from point A to point B. Is outside the Oval Office, guys. And then we got the fake looking wall door that doesn't look so fake because of how dead like the lines you can see in the wall. The action is just so cool in this. He's flipping around, getting guys, kicking them from down below. Then he's using his power and he's getting above them. Oh, and then he's in the fucking room. If you guys ever seen Batman v Superman, how he just kind of hides in the corner near the ceiling, that's kind of what Nightcrawler just did in the scene. And then I love how they have this scene where you just hear the rest of these guards and the president just hear him taking out the rest of these guys with the gunfire in the air. You don't know what's happening, but you can hear the heart palpitations from all of them. They're all worried. They don't know what's going to go on once that door opens. Then the door opens and all you see is this smoky hell coming out of it, pretty much, and they don't know what to do. They don't know what to expect. Now they're getting the shit kicked out of them. The captions just say groans, gunfire, all the slow-mo, all the wire work, because again, this was just after the Matrix came out, still very popular with the way they did their action. Now I will say this, I thought this part was a little weird. The way he kind of just like sniffs him is what it looks like, and then looks up with a little like sensuality in his eyes. And then he smiles at him. He's getting ready to, oh, there goes the bullet through the arm. I don't know why I forgot about that till now. But yep, and then you see the knife drop into the desk perfectly with the tagline, Mutants, Freedom Now. This was probably, again, my favorite opening to an X-Men movie. And then we cut to Alkali Lake during the winter. I think it's always the winter there, though. I'm not 100% sure if it's just the time they chose to film here. Because I think it's not in the winter when Cyclops goes back here to visit the place where Jean Grey dies at the end of this movie, in the beginning of X-Men 3, The Last Stand. And then we see Wolverine. I wonder if that was a stunt double in that far-off shot, or if that was Hugh Jackman from behind. Just because it didn't really look like his figure with like the silhouette from the back. It looked a little like too thin. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. All right. Moving along to Wolverine. We're looking at some barbed wire on the camera. And then we see the silhouette of Wolverine in the blurry distance. You can really tell it looks like he's wearing a wig in this. And his facial hair completely looks fake. I gotta say, I never really put that together until I started watching it just now. But that looks bad. It looks way better when you get to farther in the movie, but oh my god, does that look bad right now? He's got this real serious stare on his face, like oh my god, and he also has this like chilled look, like I've been here before, but I can't exactly remember what I was doing here. And then we see the plaque for Alkali Lake. Everything's destroyed. Now, it would have been cool if they would have actually shown in X-Men Origins Wolverine how like this place on top got destroyed. If they would have shown like what it was and then what was underneath, so they could have teased what you would have seen in X-Men 2. There was just so many more possibilities that they could have done with that movie based off what we've seen from this movie and X-Men from 2000. And I like that transition from Wolverine to the Wolf, even though a wolf's not a Wolverine, ironically enough. We see Storm teaching a class at the museum, uh, being a teacher like she was in the last movie. Storm has always been a teacher in these movies, which I commend them because she is a teacher in the comic books at the school. Storm's usually always depicted as an adult in most of the X-Men medias. I can't think of one where she was depicted as a teenager because even in X-Men Evolution, where most of the X-Men were teenagers, she was a teacher, like I stated before, alongside Wolverine and Professor X. And Beast when Beast gets eventually introduced, I think in season 2. So, in this one, we get teased a cameo of Hank McCoy on a TV screen when Mystique goes to a bar later on in the film. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But right now, Jean Grey, kind of her powers are going out of whack, and she's literally hearing all the thoughts of everybody in this museum. I'd like to know what museum this is. If anyone can let me know down in the comments what museum they filmed this at. If this is a real museum or if this was just a set they built on one of the Fox lots. And then we get introduced to James Marsden again as Cyclops, always looking cool as usual. Hopefully we get to see him in Deadpool and Wolverine, like I said in the last episode. I'm really looking forward to having him come back to play Cyclops if he gets the chance to. And Femke Janssen, I think that's how you say her name, as Jean Grey. It would be a really nice send-off to see them go off in a really big movie as hyped as Deadpool and Wolverine's supposed to be. Whether they die or not, or we get to see them come back in a tremendous love story, that would be awesome too, especially after the love story we got in the really cool X-Men 97 animated series that they just came out with on Disney+. So I always love seeing Scott and Jean Grey endear with each other. It's always seeing them there for one another. It's a really good relationship that you want to see on screen that you want people to emulate from. And instead of the what traditional people want to see for some reason is the Harley Quinn and Joker relationship. The one where Joker beats the shit out of his significant other. So, but I think Jean Grey and Scott are one that you can emulate. Now we're here in the cafeteria with Pyro, Rogue, and Iceman, and what looks to be some Backstreet-looking boy. And Pyro's kind of being a smart-ass dick. Then random guys start fucking with him. Take his lighter, one guy lights a cigarette. If someone blew smoke in my face, that would piss me the fuck off too, I gotta say. But if I had Pyro's powers, I would just hold a little bit of restraint and not blow a cigarette up in some dude's face and catch his jacket on fire. Like it does just now. Oh shit, now he's not gonna go on the ground. And then Bobby uses his powers. To be fair, they could have put the fire out without him having to go all full Iceman. So I do agree with Professor X in that they need to show more restraint in terms of what's available to them in their surroundings. I always like that in the X-Men Evolution cartoon, the only one that actually tries to demonstrate those traits are Cyclops and Jean Grey. Everyone else that's a teenager in that show usually fucks up at some point or another and using their powers in public, and they always have to find some way to retcon what they did, whether it's Professor X using his abilities to make someone forget what they saw, or going a different route, whatever that route might have been in the narrative of that episode. And here we get Professor X rolling in after he freezes everyone. I like how he gets real stern with them. All the mutants that didn't get froze are looking around like, what the heck? Yeah. So if you guys are wondering, he didn't freeze time in this because the TVs are still playing and the rest of the mutants are still moving. He literally just froze all of the humans that are in the area. So to anyone that was wondering about that. And then we see the mutants attack White House on the TV in the breaking news. And then they all leave, and then the humans go along their way. The guy who got caught on fire and his jacket put out by Bobby is still freaking out, wondering what the shit just happened. Now we're back at the Professor X mansion. Professor X and Jean Grey are discussion about the attack on the White House. The discussions that always go on between them, I always feel like are more political than what needed to be, especially for the time when these came out. I know the X-Men are a very political series, but I also feel like they could throw in the political side of it, but also make it a little bit more indulging for like kids that don't understand politics or aren't into that just yet, you know. So all right, so Professor X just sent out Storm and Jean Grey on a mission on the X-Jet to go find this mutant that attacked the White House. And now we got William Stryker at the White House investigating the attack, looking at the stab mark on the desk. We're at 12 minutes and 45 seconds into the movie. If anyone's just joining and might be wondering where we're at. Fake Senator Kelly, that's Mystique, we all know, but Senator Kelly just walked into the room, meeting Mr. Eric Lencher and the president. So we really have a scene with just tremendous actors. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but they are really good actors. They have tremendous awards behind their names. They have stage credits. They've been in the business for probably over 40 years, maybe 30 at the point in this time in the movie, but they're still around doing work today. So we got Senator Kelly looking at the photos presented to him by did I call him Eric Lencher? No, that's not. Eric Lencher isn't in the scene. Eric Lencher is Magneto. I don't know how I messed that up tremendously. In this scene, we have Senator Kelly and why am I missing his name? Stryker. William Stryker. Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys, that came to me. Need to get more rest before I do 3 videos in one day. Oh, but yeah, so William Stryker presented Senator Kelly and the president with photos of the X-Jet and the Xavier Mansion, with the X-Jet coming out of the basketball court, trying to prove to a point that mutants are not part of a problem, but are a problem to the U.S. And now the president just gave William Stryker orders to go infiltrate the mansion and pretty much interrogate the mutants there. But as we all know, he's going to go there and he's going to imprison them all. Senator Kelly meets William Stryker's personal assistant. They gave her a different name in this, but in the comic books, I'm pretty sure her character is supposed to be Lady Deathstrike, just based off of her claws that come out of her fingertips. In the comic books, Lady Deathstrike was once a love interest to Wolverine, and she didn't have claws like his that were adamantium that came out of her fingertips, but she was more or less a robotic android, and her fingertips were claws that were weapons. So that's the difference between the two. Yep, now we got Senator Kelly being lectured by William Stryker about how it's a war between humans and mutants. And then you got Senator Kelly reminding the audience that is Mystique with the flashing of the yellow eyes. Oh yeah, now some war between Iceman and Rogue, getting all sensual, they might kiss. Yep, you don't want to hurt him though. Oh really? I'd be afraid. And then we get Colossus for the first time. He draws a hilarious ass picture of a cartoon of them kissing with him freaking out. Yep, awkward. Oh, she just knows Wolverine's back, huh? And he walks through the doors. Oh, I think it's because she heard his motorcycle. Good reading. You see now, Hugh Jackman. This looks like a better wig if he's wearing one, and his facial hair looks much better. It doesn't have that like real clean look it had in the beginning of the movie. Iceman showing off his powers, giving him the cold handshake. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, boyfriend. How do you guys? That's a funny question to ask. He just responds, "We're still working on it." Yeah, and here comes Halle Berry. Storm's back, baby. I always love seeing her. Jean Grey being seductive like she was in the first movie with Wolverine. Femke Janssen. I can't deny she's really, just a talented actress, and she brings a lot to the role of Jean Grey in this movie. Even when she's being directed to be, sexy and hot. Because she has a few scenes that get steamy as Jean Grey in this movie with Wolverine. So, especially one real steamy one in X3. But she does a good job in this movie. And I like the dynamic they do with like the drama between the love between Wolverine, Jean Grey, and Scott. But I always think it's funny that later on Wolverine always in X-Men 3 he always depicts it, and in the future Wolverine movies always depicts him and Jean Grey as, I loved her, we had so much together, even though they never dated once. She was always with fucking Scott before she died. I love how he gives Scott a little shit. He's like, yeah, here's the keys to your motorcycle, needs gas, and he throws him back, fill him up. Now we get Magneto back in his plexiglass prison. Mr. Morrow, the prison guard. We know what will happen to him later on with Mystique. Oh my god, look who it is. William Stryker, he's walking in. This really does feel like Magneto's about to get fucked by both of them. And I could mean that in more ways than one. Oh, bashed upside the head. I forgot about that. Yep. Yeah, your syringe looks like a dildo-esque toy. And, oh, that looks like that burns. That definitely isn't a clear liquid, that's for sure. Looks like he just poured piss on him. With the color of that vial. It looked like greenish yellow. I don't know how you go from struggling, but depending on what the serum is that he's using, he like has his fingers curled on the his desk, and he goes like, and then just like relaxes, like he just took like the most relaxing shit of his life. And now, look like he just gave him the world's most deadliest truth serum. We'll go over how the serum works later on in the film when we get to the point of explanation for it with Stryker and Professor X. And then we get Wolverine. We're back at X Mansion with Wolverine coming to talk to Professor X. And I love how Professor X is giving Wolverine shit for smoking. Oh. He told him that he'd make him think he was a little girl and he'd have Jean braid his hair. Oh, that's so fucked up. I told you guys in the first episode of this that I thought Professor X is kind of a fucking dick in terms of how he uses his powers or wants to, or how he jokes about them. Like, holy shit, like that's pretty terrible when you joke about that. You want to turn him into a little girl and he'll have Jean braid his hair. Bam! That was cool. We're seeing how Professor X perceives in his mind with Cerebro as his powers amplified, and Wolverine's seeing it too. We're seeing a black background with what looks like the world in the foreground, different countries with lights, and the different colors of them are humans and mutants. Blue ones are humans, red ones are mutants. And Wolverine's seeing how many there are of them. I really think this is an amazing scene because it does show the amount of people they have that feel the way they do, and it's just a really powerful and enduring scene. And it kind of looks like it gets through to Wolverine a little bit before he like eventually snaps out of it and goes, "Oh, that's right. Some of the shit you say is kind of bullshit, isn't it, Professor X?" And I like how he says if he wanted to find Magneto, he'd have to concentrate harder. He'd wind up killing him. Now, there we go. He finally found Nightcrawler praying. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't say that at first. Now we're back. I always wondered why Wolverine in the middle of this scene takes the cigar and just damps it down on his hand the way he does. And, like, I don't know if that's just him putting it out or if that's him testing to make sure his healing abilities still work. I mean, it's a cool scene no matter what, but like I'm just wondering what what it was for. If it was just to put out his cigar, or if there was more to it than that. Now him and Professor X are getting into it about what he found. Logan wants more answers, and he is frustrated that Professor X can't help him unlock more of his mind. I understand that. That would be frustrating for anyone that doesn't remember their past. Although, when we get into X-Men Origins Wolverine, I'd be remiss to say I would not want to remember that because that is one shitty ass fucking past from the movie. Let me tell you. You know, we got Jean Grey and Storm almost to Nightcrawler. They're just getting the coordinates for him. Gave Storm a different haircut in this movie compared to the first one. It's a little bit of a change, as well as Jean Grey. She has a lot shorter hair now. She had long hair in the first one. And then we got Mystique back at, I wanted to say it was the White House, but I don't believe so. I think this is the offices for William Stryker and his department and whatever they have them set up for in this movie. In the comic books, he's a general. So, and they even depict him as such as a general in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Jean Grey turned into his assistant, the foregone Lady Deathstrike. We will be seeing this character return too in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. She was spotted with her claws in the trailer. So look forward to that, guys, because she was a force to be reckoned with in this movie when she fucking fights Wolverine. She eventually dies at the end of that fight. We'll get into that more later. Spoilers if you guys haven't, seen the movie. If not, hey, this movie's been out since 2003. If you haven't, that's on you, not me. And I like how they show off Mystique's power just now when she uses just her power to mimic William Stryker's voice to gain access to their computer systems. Like, these movies always found cool ways to show off their power subtly without it being in your face. That's part of the problem with some of the newer superhero movies we get a little bit within the last few years, that they're like, they need to show off this ability as it's all, like, every ability they have is the best. And subtle using the abilities they have subtly like that is a good nuanced way to show, hey, this is a useful ability they have, but we're not trying to shove it in your face. But narratively, that's what helped us push this part of the story forward. And then we got her taking the blueprints for Cerebro, copying them. And now we got the real Lady Deathstrike coming up. That's right, she wasn't copying them just yet. She was seeing what files he had on Professor X, and then the files that were copied related to that, to his secret base that he created. That's under Alkali Lake, from the ruins we've seen in the beginning of the film. I like the music we got going on here. High stakes music. Here we go. Will she get caught? Will she not? Is she gonna get caught? And it's quiet now. And maybe she got away. Did she? Let's see. As we walk through the blurry background that Mystique once did. And she made it to her desk and Mystique's not there. So, let's see. Where is Mystique at? Where is she hiding, guys? Is she on the ceiling somewhere? Nope. Oh. Aha! She turned into the garbage man. Speaking Spanish. I wonder how many languages Mystique speaks. If anyone can let me know about that in the comments, let me know, guys. As she gets away. And I love how she suddenly walks past the real guy, like nothing of it. Like, yeah, like like he's questioning it, but he's not being like overly like subtle about it. I love that. That was good direction. Sorry about that, guys. And now we were at the church where Nightcrawler is. Jean and Storm have finally arrived. Metal creaking. That's what the captions say. Well, maybe because that's what we hear. We got the birds in the church flying around. I wonder how much bird shit Nightcrawler fucking sleeps with. After I fucking just noticed those. You guys ever have a bird break into your fucking house at some point and they just shit everywhere? I had that problem at one point. It was terrible. It was in my freaking room. I was in a basement. That was where my room was at the time. And the bird snuck in through the ventilation system. And I woke up with him on top of me while I was in my bed. And he had taken a shit on my blanket, so I had to wash that. He shat all over the furniture in my room, all the floor. It was terrible. So I imagine Nightcrawler probably has that issue. Get out! That's I will say I've always thought that was weird the way he said that. I don't know if that was something Alan Cummings wanted to do or if that was the direction he was given. And then we got Storm going all white-eyed. I'm surprised they didn't wear their actual X suits out for this. It looks like they just wore some like casual Wednesday type leather clothes. But these movies are all about leather for some reason. Although I think Storm's outfit is made of some type of cloth. Please don't kill me, I didn't mean to harm anybody. Wagner, Kurt Wagner. I think they could have went less heavy on the Nightcrawler accent. I like how you get the poster saying that he was in the circus that they just went over through that little montage of them getting to where they're at now in the scene. I thought it was weird they chose to give him markings, though. Nightcrawler doesn't have markings all over his body in the comic books, so this was totally a movie thing they chose to do with Bryan Singer. But, oh, yeah, that's because they mostly were trying to lean into more of the religious aspects of the character, so they explain it as religious markings in the movie. But, I don't think it was necessary to go with the markings, like I said. I also really don't feel like it was necessary to have him hide out in a church for his home. Like, I get it, the character is religious, but maybe have him hide out in some type of a monastery, maybe? Or maybe he's just literally hiding out in a homeless shelter or something. I don't know. I think we need a little bit more believability to where he would be hiding out instead of this abandoned church that still looks really nice with birds flying around in it, shitting all over the place. So, that's just my opinion, though. Now we're cutting back to the X-Mansion with Wolverine. He's dreaming in his sleep. He's dreaming about his past at Alkali Lake. Yeah, if you guys really try to match up what we see in this, it really is nothing like what we see in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Keep seeing more people we never saw in that. Like, his transformation in this, when he gets the adamantium put into his skeleton, just looks so much more horrific than what it did in Origins 2. As to where they just tried to make that look like, I want to say metal badass, but it didn't really come across as that. In a way, it was just like, oh yeah, look, he's about to die type, deal. I'm not gonna lie, I wish I had this kid's powers to change the channel with my eyes. Just blink. Did you get to change the channel? Now, do he have control over that when he blinks his eyes, or is it just it changes every time he blinks his eyes? The world may never know. I don't sleep. Anyone else think this was the Home Alone kid, Macaulay Culkin, at first, the TV kid? Let me know in the comments, guys, if anyone else thought that like I did. That's probably a dumb thought to have, but yeah, I had it. I like this little scene between Wolverine and Iceman. Got any beer? This is a school, so that's a no? No. Like, yeah, why would a school have beer in their fridges? Yeah, but we got some pop in the cabinet. Why don't you put the pop in the fridge? Who likes warm pop? And he gets him to cool it for him. I have always thought though, since I was a kid, why don't you just like cool it with your hand? Like that's you can have your cold powers come through it. Why do you gotta blow on it? That's fucking disgusting. Who wants your germs on your fucking drink? Like here, cool my drink off by blowing on it. Oh, I'm sorry, I could have done that. I get it, you got cold powers, but use your fucking hand to do it. It's more sanitary if you just touch the fucking glass as to let me blow the part where you're gonna put your own fucking lips at. Sorry guys. Stuff like that just bothers me. Little anal retentive in that aspect, I guess. Okay, guys, we are at 31 minutes and 44 seconds and counting into the movie. Right now, we're at the point where Cyclops took Professor X to go visit Magneto in his plexiglass prison. Now, I think Magneto at this point is still under the influence of William Stryker. I think we'll find it out soon once we see his eyes. And I'm sorry, guys, I keep yawning. Need to get more rest, but I'm trying to do this episode before I have to get ready to go into work tonight. This is going to be the last episode of this week I will be posting on the channel, and we will be starting back up either Monday night or Tuesday with posting more videos for Cam TV News, Cam Dynamics, and X-Men The Evolution podcast. Our X-Men The Uncanny Evolution podcast. Sorry, I fucked that up too, guys, didn't I? And then now we got Magneto kind of taunting Professor X, saying that he thinks Professor X taking in Wolverine would have atoned for his past sins. Now we cut back to Wolverine and Iceman talking about Iceman's past. It does kind of reveal a lot, though, as Iceman reveals that his parents think he's at a prep school. Like, for Professor X to really get people to trust him for his kids to come here, so he can teach them about their powers and still teach them regular stuff in school. He still has to lie to them to get them to go there and just tell them it's a regular prep school if that is the case with some of them, which is pretty fucked up if you ask me, which, falls along with my case that Professor X is secretly a psychotic dick. And I'm just joking, by the way, guys. If you don't agree with me that he's secretly a psychotic dick, feel free to let me know. It's just a joke. But now we're back with Magneto and Professor X at his plastic prison. Plexiglass as well. It's a stare off. Professor X quietly, "What have you done?" "Oh, Charles, I couldn't help it." Breathing quiverly. "What have you told Stryker?" "Breathe deeply." It's really creepy the way Sir Ian McCullen delivers those lines. That's like the most normal line you've delivered in the last fucking 10 seconds. "Scott!" That's how Professor X sounded just now. "He got me! Guys! He got me!" Oh, Cyclops just got too. Not before he got a few shots off, though. I don't know why he did the security guard first. Would the other two have attacked him if he didn't shoot the other guard? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Yep, then we got Lady Deathstrike doing her ninja thing. I think she's a ninja in the comics, too, if I'm not mistaken. Although it's a little on the nose when you cast an Asian woman to do all the ninja stuff as that character, I suppose. Is she Asian in the comic books, too? I think she is. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe she's Asian in the comic books. Would that be considered racist from the creators from the comic books that they did that? Let me know what you think. Then we got Macaulay Culkin getting blinded in the eyes with a flashlight from a soldier that just snuck into the X-Mansion. Now, this is one of my favorite scenes throughout the movie because we get to see Wolverine go full fucking berserker mode. And the kid with the glasses, Macaulay Culkin, gets taken down. I think those are sleeping darts they shot him with. There's like these 3 little pins that he shot into his neck that they try to do for everyone. But when Wolverine comes up to him, I'm pretty sure they just go to full bullets. And when they use the sleeping stuff on him, his healing ability kicks in, I'm pretty sure, and, stops him from falling asleep. Ah! I'm waiting for the girl that screams high-pitched, the Banshee girl. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Kitty Pryde in this. They recasted Kitty Pryde not once, not twice, but 3 times. Totally thought the Juno girl was Kitty Pryde in this one, but no, it was someone else. Yeah, they had someone else play Kitty Pryde in the first one. This is a different actress now in this film. Oh yeah, here we go. Wolverine's about to get him. You picked the wrong house, bub. I love it. Yeah, here's the Banshee girl. Really knows how to make a boner go down, doesn't she? Yeah, everyone's ears are really hurting at this point. I don't know how Wolverine's still going. Yep, there you go. Now he got her to be quiet. Yep, Wolverine's healing. Come on, Wolverine, kill him. Yeah! Ah! Yeah, get him. Love the Berserker rage. Hopefully we get to see some of that in Deadpool and Wolverine. Iceman's just hiding by the counter. Oh shit, he just killed that guy. Oh fuck. Please don't hurt me. Pyro grabbing his lighter. Colossus getting out of bed. Oh my god, yeah, there's a lot of those guys. Now we get to see Wolverine go to action. Oh god, that would hurt. Right in the back. Oh, the chest. Wolverine's going full stealth mode. And everyone's running out of their rooms, yelling. It's fucking chaotic right now. It's like a fucking raid on a house that's full of fucking kids. It cuts to Colossus transforming and then quiet, and then he throws him through the fucking wall. Yeah, get him. Where's Iceman going? He's getting in the elevator. Oh, I forgot where he's going. And Wolverine got shot with the sleeping stuff, but like I said, it affects him just minusculely, but his healing abilities kick in. Yep, Colossus got the girl that was screaming like a banshee. Yep, he's trying to get as many kids as he can to safety, but as we all know, kids, that not everyone does. Yep, look, there's Macaulay Culkin. I'm pretty sure Wolverine takes him so he can get him to safety with Colossus when he eventually sees him. Love the music in this scene. It kind of reminds me of a late 80s action film going into the early 90s. But it also reminds me a little bit of the X-Men the animated series with there's little hints of that throughout here, even if it's not as on the nose subtly as that sounds. I like how fucking Colossus hits the wall so they get their secret passage open. He's like, huh! Now here comes Wolverine. Yep, here we go. They couldn't help showing Colossus off without him being shirtless, though. In the animated series, Colossus is always wearing a fucking tank top like Wolverine is in this, so I suppose they couldn't have done that. Would have been a little too similar, right, guys? Ooh, and the fucking foot! Tell me, guys, if you got clawed in the foot by Wolverine, that would fucking suck! Jesus. Mansion continues to get raided from below, above, side to side. All because they want to get as many of them captured as they can and break into the danger room areas down below. We never see the danger room in the first movie or this one. We eventually do see the danger room, though, in the third movie. This Matrix-esque looking fucking tunnel with the greenish, blacks, and blue hues leading out to the forest. You know, there's I think 4 or 5 different locations they've used to film the X-Men mansions at between these original trilogies and then the newer ones they did with James McAvoy's Professor X and the newer cast. Here we go, Wolverine comes flying down from above. Yeah, bitch! Oh god, he tosses those bitches like ragdolls right behind him. Wolverine is strong, bitch! Helicopter. Here we go, get away, you guys can do it. And I love how when they do eventually get away, Wolverine fucking uses Cyclops' car. This motherfucker can't help but fucking steal all of Cyclops' vehicles. It's funny. Now we get the introduction with Wolverine back to William Stryker. Yep, I'd be surprised to find Wolverine at a school too, given who he is. This is a great reunion between the two, and it's perfectly acted out with the actors Hugh Jackman and Alright, guys, I'm going to try and look up the actor's name on my phone. Hopefully, the recording doesn't stop. I love the shot of Wolverine's claws retracting. Bring up the cast list of this movie on my phone. Probably should have done before I started, but hey, we're all learning with this, aren't we, guys? Sorry, guys, it's taking me forever. Here we go. Alright, cast. Yep, Famke Janssen is Jean Grey. I didn't fuck that up, thank Lord. Come on, where is he? Brian Cox, that's who we got as William Stryker. Brian Cox. Brian Cox is William Stryker. This little reunion between him and Wolverine is fucking perfectly acted out between him and Hugh Jackman. And then I love how it gets interrupted by Iceman, because Iceman doesn't want to see Wolverine get captured. They still need him so they can get away. Like, Wolverine keeps forgetting these are just kids, and they need a leader. Colossus isn't really a leader like Wolverine is in these movies. And Rogue doesn't want to leave him either, because Wolverine's starting to see him more as a father figure, more or less than a fuck toy like she did in the first movie. More or less because Rogue's starting to like get jiggy with it with Bobby. So, but yeah, happy we got that settled out, guys. But yeah, Brian Cox perfectly cast as William Stryker in this movie. I wish we could have kept him as William Stryker in the other X-Men movies, but it just wouldn't have made sense age-wise. Now, they did bring Brian Cox back to play another CIA character, but he wasn't like a prominent character like some of the other ones were. I love how Pyro wants to drive. All right, I'm driving. Wolverine, fuck no. Maybe next time, kid. I'm driving. And then fucking Wolverine just hacks the car with his claw. That's so fucking hood. Tell me that's not fucking hood. Let me know in the comments down below, guys, if that's fucking hood or not. That's fucking gangster. Yep, then we got fucking camoed out fucking soldiers. They already got down to fucking the lower levels of the mansion so they could get into Cerebro. Stryker. It was Stryker. He remembers him a little bit. He says I can't remember with like such like pity in himself. Like I wish I could fucking remember, but I can't. That's such good acting by Hugh Jackman too. Hugh Jackman was a stage actor before he took on the role of Wolverine too. So like he had a lot of time to like perfect being able to use his expressions and the way he uses his voice as an actor, which is what makes him such a great Wolverine. We get the Backstreet Boys. Bye, bye, bye. Fucking, I can't stand uncomfortable silences. Yeah, well, you know, I don't think we can stand the Backstreet Boys. Little X-style phone. Pulls it out of the car. Of course, you know, got to keep it on brand with the movie. I don't know how you make phone calls to that, or if you just receive phone calls with that. Because I don't ever remember Wolverine making any calls with it. I just only remember him receiving the call from Jean Grey and Storm later on when they get to Bobby's house, which is where they're currently going now. Alright, we got Stryker down the lower levels with the rest of his goons. Because that's ultimately what they, bad guys have, are goons. That's what these guys are, whether they're soldiers or not. They're goons at the end of the day. They got 6 in custody. I thought they had way more than that from the last time I watched this movie. Maybe this movie isn't as good as I thought. Just kidding, guys. The movie's still really fucking good so far. I like this little machine they made to break into Cerebro so they could trick it with Professor X's eyes, symmetrics, or however you guys say that word, that eye scanners work, however that, you know, you use them. Welcome, Professor. I forgot who does the voice for that. I don't know if it's just computer generated or if there was an actual actress who did that. I don't know if that would be in the cast list or not. Maybe I should check. Right, guys? Alright, let's go ahead and look this up. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Fucking, I'm looking at the cast, and fucking child molesting prick Brian Peck was in this fucking movie as a news reporter. What fucking news reporter was he? Is he on the screen with the Hank McCoy cameo? Let's see, are they gonna cut to him? I don't know, maybe you just hear him, and he was in that wide shot. But yeah, there was our Hank McCoy cameo. But fuck, I'm a little upsetting to see Brian Peck was in this, but I shouldn't be surprised because when he was originally convicted, James Marsden did fucking write a letter to him. I don't know if he's come out since to apologize about that or not. Hopefully he has, because who in their fucking right mind could defend a goddamn child fucking molester? I know I fucking can't. They fucking disgust me to a level that I can't even fucking fathom. Sorry for all the F-bombs, guys. But let's continue to see. They got Hank McCoy as Beast in the Google titles for this. You weren't Beast in this. You were playing Hank McCoy, but Steve Backick was playing Hank McCoy, Dr. Hank McCoy, in the little cameo here in the movie. And then we got Mystique hooking up with the guard of Magneto's so she can implant him with the liquid metal that he can use to rip out of his body later on to break out of prison. Velcro, nice. I've never thought of Velcro as sexy. I don't think anyone else really does either. Velcro is more or less thought of like a child thing. But he probably has to have it because you can't have zippers and shit like that with Magneto. I'm not exactly sure how strong a plastic zipper would be for pants. Oh, right in the ass with a giant ass needle. That would suck. Good thing she knocked him out first for it. Would you guys want to take a needle in the ass? I have. It hurts. I had to get a shot that I needed for like rust that I wasn't up to date on. I was young. I was younger when it happened. It sucked. Oh, but the actor who plays Senator Robert Kelly in this movie is Bruce Davidson. Terrific actor. Brought a lot to the role, especially when he had to pretend to be Mystique playing him at the same time. So far, I'm not seeing a voice for who was playing Cerebro in this. Yeah, I don't think they have that on here, guys. Sorry. I did try to look it up, though. And Kelly Hu is who's playing Lady Deathstrike in this. That's who they have her as in the movie, too. All right, cool. So I'm not just talking out of my asshole when I'm saying Lady Deathstrike. So dope. But yeah, let's go through the cast here, guys, so you guys better understand like how good these actors are. Before I do that, let's break this down real quick. We finally got William Stryker in his underground lair that he made with his schematics based off of the X-Men's one, and he has Professor X as a prisoner, and he's basically lecturing him about him and his what he's been doing. And he's still trying to keep control of the mutants that he has under his wing like Lady Deathstrike with that serum he gives them. And that's how he gives them orders and stuff, so that's how they listen to him. Professor X just realized he arranged the attack on the president. You didn't even have to read my mind. He says that with such wit. I love it. Yeah, you've been working with him as long as he is? I don't know about that. You've been torturing him as long as he's been working with him, but maybe that's about it. It's really hard to imagine the disdain that he has for mutants, mostly because of where his character is coming from in this movie, as we find out with what happened to his son and his wife. Mutant 143, and that is his son, Jason. I believe that's Jason's name. It's only where it begins. Yeah, his son Jason is in a wheelchair. He looks like he's done multiple surgeries on his head. He's got him hooked up to oxygen machines. There's something hooked up to his back and his spine. Says right now, I just said his son was dead, just like the rest of the mutants. Like, that's how much disdain he has for mutants. His son is a mutant himself. His son can project images into your mind and make them believe that they're real, because that's how powerful he is. So, but going down the cast in this, we have Alan Cummings, Rebecca Romaine, Kelly Hu, Anna Paquin, Famke Janssen, Shawn Ashmore, Hugh Jackman, Aaron Stanford, Ian McCullen, Brian Cox, Halle Berry, Patrick Stewart, Steve Backick, Brian Peck, James Marsden, Shauna Kane, Charles Siegel, Bruce Davidson, Craig Rickhart, Bryce Hodgkinson, Daniel Cudmore, Ty Olson, Connor Widows, Katie Stewart, Kevin Gage, Michael Reid, McKay, Key Wong, Keely Purvis, Roger Cross, Peter Wingsfield, Nolan Gerard Funk, Dylan Kussman, Colin Lawrence, Rajesh Khatter, and the list goes on and on. All right, now we're back with the crew of X-Men that left with Wolverine and Cyclops' car. They just made it to Iceman's house. Now they're trying to settle in there, and Iceman just gave Rogue a change of clothes that belonged to his mom when she was a little bit younger. How he knew that's where those clothes were from is beyond me, because he hasn't supposedly supposed to be with his family for a while now. The fact that the fact that he knows that much is a little weird, in my opinion. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that way, but hey, that's just me. Gave her some gardening gloves so they could actually hold hands. Boy, is this man horny. He is willing to lose his shit to kiss her. Cool breath. That's a little sly. Mac, Mac, Mac in town. Yes, yes, yes. Now look at them veins pop up through your face. I'd pull away too. Him pulling away was like somebody pulling out faster than they knew they were about to, unload, if you get what my drift is. That was a cool shot from, in the fridge but underneath at the same time. I like that. And then we get this funny shot right here with Wolverine and the claws and the cat. Meow. Oh, I totally thought the cat meowed. I guess he doesn't. Who are you? Who the hell are you? I'd be pretty surprised too if there was a random guy in my fridge drinking my beer. This is Professor Logan. Oh, it makes me laugh how much lying happens with the X-Men, I suppose, let's say. Because, Wolverine eventually becomes a teacher for them in the third one. But he's, more of a substitute teacher. I don't even think you could consider him a teacher in this, considering he meets him in the first one. They try to help him with his problem. Then he leaves at the end of the movie, and then he comes back so he can help them out. And he was really only there, I think, overnight so he could babysit for Professor X and everyone else, because everyone else got sent off on missions. Oh, now we got the guy that pretty much got messed up by Mystique back to serve Magneto, and he's going to sense the liquid metal within his body. Sorry about that, guys. Thirsty. The acting of Ian McCullen in this scene is pretty good. There's something different about you. I had a rough night last night. No, it's not that. And he got it. Slowly lifts him up. That would be disconcerting. Well, now you know how Wolverine feels, buddy. That's what he does to Wolverine every time he picks him up. Look at you go, look at you go. Look at the metal flow through your blood, look at you go. That would probably hurt really fucking bad, I'm not gonna lie. See all the fucking blood spots through his uniform. Ugh. Never trust a beautiful woman. Wise words from a wise man. Here we go. Alright. For anyone wondering, we are at 55 minutes and 10 seconds at the movie. We got an hour and 20 minutes left, pretty much. Woohoo! I like this little plate effect they have that Magneto makes for him to transport himself around on. Kind of reminds me of Static Shock from DC Comics a little bit. And then he's got these little balls orbiting around him like he's a fucking planet. That kind of shows you how much Magneto, really thinks of himself as more than human, more of a god, and how much he thinks the mutants are such a superiority race compared to humans. That really that says so much about him. He puts himself on this pedestal that only he puts himself on and no one else does, which says a lot about his arrogance as well. Uh, I can't understand at some points where some people think that Magneto was right in the X-Men the 97 series. I can understand if you like were angry alongside of him, but to say that he's right is to you agreeing with him that you agree that he thinks genocide should fucking happen. If you think genocide should happen, then maybe people should be accusing you of being the equivalent of fucking Hitler and not Trump, in my opinion at least. Because fucking genocide is terrible in anyone's fucking book, no matter where it comes from. I like how Bobby kind of reveals to his parents he's a mutant. So yeah, I don't know if all parents get lied to about where their kids go when they have powers. If they, like in this case, it seems like they didn't know, and Professor X knew that Bobby did, and Bobby did too, but they didn't tell them, and they had to lie to him so that he could take him to the school. Food for thought, though. Let me know what you guys think. I really am curious about that. I love that. The mom blames herself. This is my fault. And then Pyro goes, actually, scientists found out that males are the ones that pass on the mutant gene, so it's his fault. Points at the dad. And the dad just like looks up with this look of like, fuck you too. Yeah, that brother's kind of a dick for calling the cops on his brother and the rest of them. Because then it just ensues in this whole fucking cluster fuck of explosions and put the knives down. They're not knives. I can't do that. They're a part of my body. And then Wolverine, we'll get into that when we get to it. But now we're at the Blackbird, the X-Jet, with Jean Grey and Storm and Nightcrawler. And Storm's kind of taking a break piloting the ship to go console Nightcrawler in the back, who's praying with his I don't want to call this the wrong thing because I don't want to be not inappropriate but rude. I'll just say he's praying with his cross for now, I guess, because I can't think of the proper name for what he's holding. But yeah, I really do feel like they could have made the dialogue better, a little bit better for Alan Cummings' Nightcrawler in this. Maybe not have made it so religious focused. That way, it maybe would have been a little bit more interesting to want to watch his scenes more. Because even in this movie, to me, what makes this movie is the Wolverine stuff. Nightcrawler is a cool character to throw in there with it in terms of the action scenes you got from the beginning of the movie and some of the ones later through the movie and some of the humor. But Wolverine at the end of the day is what makes this movie, even when Mystique goes to pretend to be him later on. Although I do think this scene does serve at least somewhat of a little purpose once they start getting into how Nightcrawler kind of feels pity for certain things, and Storm's trying to get him out of that type of mindset to help himself throughout life, and that ends up helping them later on throughout the film. So it does have like somewhat of a purpose for this conversation, but I feel like if they didn't lean so much into the religious aspect so heavily in the beginning of it, it probably would have stuck out more to me than what it does now. Now we're back at Iceman's house with Wolverine and the rest of the X-Men and his Bobby's parents. Wolverine just got a phone call, and I'm pretty sure that's Storm and Jean Grey. Oh, that's fucked. Bobby, have you tried not being a mutant? And now Jean Grey and Storm are finding out about the raid on the mansion. Could you guys imagine going on a vacation and finding out that your house just got raided and some people got captured, like, went to jail, and now you're on your way home and now you got to try and rush to get home faster because you're worried? That's pretty much what happened with those two. Nope, something's going on. Wolverine knows that he can sense the cops. Drop the knives and put your hands in the air. That's such a Brooklyn accent. That's what it sounded like. That guy doesn't have a Brooklyn accent, though. I wonder where they got their extras from for this scene. Put the knives down. I can't. I don't know why he shot him. He was trying to show you. What, that guy was fucking trigger happy. You gonna shoot them too? Just because they're mutants? Is that why they did it? That's a little fucked. Probably. He really is trying to hold back and decide what he's gonna do. Up until the point he decides he's gonna fuck everyone up. Which is cool to see him do, but at the same time, it doesn't help with the way they already feel about mutants. And I don't get why she didn't shoot him after he already took out that one guy. That's a little, kind of, I don't know, it just makes me curious as to why. That's a writer's decision, I guess, or like a directing decision on the day of filming, I suppose. I imagine all this was done practically too, all the explosions, the shooting the cars in the air, just like X-Men 1, what they did with the Magneto scene. I can't really tell you if I like the music or not in this. It kind of sounds like generic high stakes music, and it doesn't really feel too much of like music they made for themselves. Oh, look at that shot. What's that shot called where the camera's put on an angle a little bit? Dutch angle? Yeah, I think it's a Dutch angle. I don't know why they didn't hold off on that while he continued to fall. That would have been a much better shot than what they locked down for like 3 seconds. Now Wolverine's back. The bullet fell out of his head. It's healed. All these guys probably got fucking 2nd or 3rd degree burns. If not, they look like they just got fucking chalked the shit up. That's for sure. Now the expansion's coming down. Everyone's probably in awe of it if you're a regular cop and not an X-Men. Let's go, guys. Wolverine just gets up and cracks his neck. Such a badass. Yeah, looks at Pyro. What the fuck did you do? You little fucking prick. I like how they have this cop get up that shot Wolverine. He looks at him. I shot you. You should be dead. This guy's questioning everything in his life right now. Didn't I thought I killed you? What? Not should I? What? Am I not a good cop? Did I miss? What happened? Like, he's probably debating if he's going to continue his career as a police officer, his sanity as a human being. Shit, he might check himself into a mental institution after that. Like, I don't imagine what else that could be going through that guy's head. Kurt Wagner, but in the incredible Munich circus, I was known as Nightcrawler. Oh, now we're taking off in the X-Jet, guys. They're, I don't know where they're going to now at this point, before we get to another specific point in the movie. Now we're back with Professor X, and he's looking at his legs like he's standing up, and he's got a tear running down his face. I didn't notice that before. That was good acting. He's having his mind messed with by William Stryker's son, Jason. I think Jason in this movie is supposed to be a stronger telepath than Professor X, which is why he's able to fuck with him so hardcore without Professor X not being able to break out of it eventually. But I think him putting him back in the wheelchair is what made it more believable for him. Because now he thinks he's back at the X Mansion. He's with a little girl that's really Jason. And he's trying to specifically get Professor X to want to go to Cerebro to find all the mutants so he can trick them into killing them. Which is a pretty rough and fucked up plan that William Stryker has put together. Pretty good though. I like it in terms of a bad guy narrative point of view. Now we're back with the X-Men and the X-Jet. Yeah, those were probably missiles. Here we go. Oh no, they're not missiles, my bad. They're jets. They're being tracked by jets. Unidentified aircraft. I'm surprised this doesn't happen to you guys more often. You guys not flying with your, what's the word called? Camouflage on? That would help. Your guys' jet towers, there's so fucking much. Repeat, lower your altitude to 20,000 feet. This is your last warning. You guys probably should have listened to him. Here we go. Yep, you guys are getting tracked for fired missiles. Yeah, Wolverine, you might want to put your seatbelt on after Wolverine almost got fucking jacked in the head by the fucking councils that were he was standing next to. Now they're upside down. Holy shit. I don't know why Rogue just didn't calm down to get her shit clicked in and she just decided not to fucking do it. That to me seems like a bad narrative plot line. I will admit that. Yeah, as much as I still love this movie, I will not, lie to you guys. If it has some narrative problems to it in terms of setups and the characters and what they're doing, I'm not going to lie to you about it. It doesn't take away with how good I still think the movie is, but I will not lie when am going to be critical about something. Tell me how Storm creates all these fucking tornadoes and it only gets one of them and the other one's able to like bob and weave around him. Like, what are you, fucking Maverick from Top Gun? Jesus. Like, I doubt you could fucking train for a simulation like this. And if you can, holy shit. At least back then in the early 2000s, I don't know if that was possible as much as it would be now in the fucking 2020s. And you got a signal? Or not signal, you got a lock? Fire! And now you're about to eject. You took too long to get your lock out until you could dodge a weave. And you guys think you're safe, but you're not. Oh boy, now you guys know. Beep faster, steady tone. Here we go. I feel like they needed more high stakes plot throughout the movie, which is why we have this scene. Because, like, narratively, we don't need this scene throughout the rest of this movie. Narratively, this does nothing except show off the Phoenix powers. I'm gonna shut up now, because, like, that actually makes sense. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm shutting up now. That makes sense. I forgot about that. I thought that was just Jean using her regular powers. Yeah, she couldn't get that one. What good are the rest of you if you can't handle a missile, you bloody bastards? And there goes Rogue out the door because they needed her to fall out for some reason so they could have Nightcrawler save her. I feel like that was a waste of using the money on his powers. They could have probably done another like spectacle to show off his shit like they did in the beginning with the opening White House attack. Now we're dropping altitudes, motherfuckers. So what happens when your back of your plane gets blown up? Sorry, I keep yawning. Here we go. You're gonna crash into the ground. Nope. You're slowing down and the back of your plane's being rebuilt? Who could that be? Slowly descending now. Does Magneto not have a theme so they just started playing Mystiques? Is that what that was? That's what it kind of sounded like. Yep, and here we go. The reveal that Magneto caught them with Mystique next to him. I think this is a really cool reveal. And when will these people learn how to fly? It's such a snarky fuck. And Mystique's just always grinning with him. Can we give Rebecca Romijn some like actual dialogue as Mystique, please? It's killing me. You have this wonderful actress playing this really cool character that's for some reason naked in every fucking movie that she's in. And you don't give her any dialogue. Like, Mystique's not just eye candy because of who you got to play her, for Jesus' sake. Now we're at a forest with Magneto and the X-Men at a campsite they've made, and they're trying to decide what to do about Stryker and Alkali Lake. How to get the kids back and Professor X. And he's telling them about how he was able to build a Cerebro, or at least one enough of his own. I like how we're always getting either Professor X or Magneto from the X-Men movies, always giving you your existential plots that we need, or what's the word I'm looking for that people always use nowadays? I guess juxtaposed narrative. So, but either way, I always enjoy hearing Magneto, played by Sir Ian McKellen, get to speak in the movies because he always gives such reverence to his character's ability to him talk. He always thinks of himself as this leader that everyone wants to, hear from, which is fucking a terrific, character trait he was able to throw in. Now he's telling Wolverine about the metal on his bones. His bones carry the signature of William Stryker. Damn, Magneto just shitting all over Wolverine, telling him how he wanted the professor to discover it for himself, but he gives him more credit than Magneto does. Dick thing to say. Yeah, yeah. Oh. Yeah, Magneto, you always think it's all about you, though, too, so I don't know about that. And now Nightcrawler just got caught listening into their conversation. Awkward. Oh, if you guys hear a sound right now, that's just me opening up a 2 liter so I can pour me a drink. Alright. Now they just scanned Nightcrawler's mind so they can find out where William Stryker was. Now they know he's at Alkali Lake, and Wolverine told them he was there but didn't see anything, but it's an underground base. So, this is when things start to get a little weird in the movie, where Wolverine hits on Jean, then he gets fucked with by Mystique, and it's just weird. We'll break it down as we go. But right now he's smoking a cigar and he's talking with Jean Grey by the Blackbird. That's not what I meant. Oh, I really feel like they tried to nail the Wolverine and Jean Grey relationships in these movies, but never really got it. They did a decent job, but it's I don't know if it was what everyone wanted it to be from the comics or even the animated show. So, oh yeah, girls do flirt with the dangerous guy, Logan. Wolverine is a good guy. Well, he's not killing people. Wait, yeah, no, I don't know about that. Oh yeah, going to town. Where's the tongue? I don't know why movies always go with a little bit of tongue in every kissing movie. Nowadays, most women don't use tongue. At least the ones I've talked to, and previous women I've made out with before I've met my fiance. And even that, my fiance doesn't like using tongue all that often. Oh, I cannot lie. Watching Logan have a cigar makes me want to go have a cigarette. Nightcrawler speaking with Mystique. Can you really imitate people? Can you really even imitate their voice? And he says it in his own voice. Yes, I can even imitate their voice. Nightcrawler. Kind of looked like they made him swoon over her a little bit. For anyone that doesn't know, Nightcrawler in the comic books is actually Mystique's son, and Rogue is actually Mystique's daughter. If no one knew that. So Mystique and Rogue and Nightcrawler are all related, which would make Nightcrawler and Rogue brother and sister, but I think they're half brother and sister. Yep, and this is the scene I was talking about where Mystique pretends to be Jean Grey. She starts making out with Wolverine, and I like the tell that Wolverine knows it's not her though. When he starts feeling her stomach and chest area, and he feels the claw marks that he left on Mystique from when he stabbed her, and then Mystique just tells him, "No one left a scar like you." Yep. If anyone's ever seen the Epic movie, they kind of make fun of this scene a little bit where the one of the leads of the characters goes to like this X-Men-esque school and they make fun of the X-Men in it and Mystique. And there's a scene where he's like making out with her. He's about to get laid with her. And she's like, I can turn into whatever you want. And he gives her all these like very weirdly odd specific descriptions. And they all end up looking gross in the end. And it's just very questionable. But it just, every time I'll see this scene now, I'll think of that too. And it just makes me laugh. Yeah, Wolverine feels a little uncomfortable now, don't you? A little used, a little weird. Why don't we get uniforms? Where's ours? They'll arrive in a few years. Look at this stare down. Mm. Yeah, if Rogue's trying to be intimidating, but Rogue isn't as intimidating as her counterpart is in the comics and animated series. I will say that. They kind of have to, because of the aspect of them making her a teenager in these. Rogue in the comic books and in the animated series can fly too. I don't know why she can't fly in this. That was probably them trying to tone down her character. But yeah, it would have been cool. It will be cool to see if they make Rogue actual Rogue in the MCU when they finally get to the X-Men and that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Marvel's going to do with the X-Men and their movies going forward. Especially seeing the suit that we got for Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine coming up next week. Pyro showing off his abilities to Magneto a little bit. Here we go. Here comes the start of a brand new relationship that'll carry over into the third X-Men film, X-Men The Last Stand. And this is them like hinting at it a little bit until we get near the end of the movie more. Alright guys, we are at 1 hour and 17 minutes and 49 seconds into the movie, for anyone just joining us. Alright, now we're with Stryker at his underground base with Lady Deathstrike and another one of his soldier goons. Kind of being creepy, staring at the kids on the computer monitors. Why are we keeping the children here? I'm a scientist, Lyle. When I build a machine, I want to make sure that it's working. That doesn't sound ominous and creepy at all, my man. Holy hell. You know, sometimes when you take a look back at these older movies and you realize just how creepy some of the decisions were with some decisions when it comes to children, or even the way some actors respond to certain other characters and what they say to them. Now the X-Men are trying to come up with a plan on the X-Jet with their hologram. Oh, sorry guys, I'll be on it again. I have a hunch he'll want me alive. Stab it. Magneto always being a dick to Wolverine. When someone gets into the spillway, we need to be able to close the spillway mechanism. How are you going to do that? Stab it with your claws? Actually, yeah, that's exactly how he does it when we get to the end of the movie. He fucking stabs the panel that controls it, and they fucking shut. Fucking glorious-ass moment. Makes me laugh, because I think Magneto's there, too, and he just kind of gives him this look like, yeah, bitch, you see what I did? You want to fucking laugh at me now? Put these fucking claws through your head and the helmet. Biatch! Yep, now they know they got a little intruder in the spillway. And he sees that it's Logan. Is it Logan, though, for sure? No, we all know who it really is, though. Mystique pretending to be Logan because they need someone to get in and out faster than what Wolverine probably would, trying to annihilate everyone. I always wonder what kind of direction Bryan Singer gave the actors that had to pretend to be Mystique to make this character believable, so that like they made Mystique this believable chameleon, and that to me would really be some good insight from either a director to hear from it, or maybe a producer or cinematographer that heard them giving some of the direction. Wow, look at this thing that they put Wolverine Mystique in when they kind of like arrest them. It's this like thing that clamps around their biceps, their forearms to their chest. Really is some kinky looking thing, I will tell you that. Imagine having that in the bedroom, but with like fur. That would be uncomfortable to be put in if you were in prison. One thing I know better than anyone is my own room. Seal the room, shoot it. Yep, and there we go. The reveal that that's Mystique. That was a good reveal. I like the transformation too as she flips. Although I still don't know why Mystique is naked. The middle finger as the door closes. That's fucking hilarious. Yep. Yep, just like you said, anybody. Aha! She got you guys. Here they go. I'm trying to get to the control room first. Oh yeah, bye-bye. Blows a kiss. Fucking love how much of a smartass Mystique is, though. I just wish they would give her the fucking yellow costume she has in the comics. Yellow. The white costume she has from the comics and shows. Take out these cameras! Bam! I'm in. Alright. Yeah, no shit, she's good, Wolverine. I wish we could have gotten more like spy thriller, espionage type stories from the X-Men First Class cast as they did their sequels, instead of trying to go more bombastic, bigger stories the way they did. I really do feel like these more, not grounded, but these more political, I guess, thriller type stories with the X-Men are just a little bit more interesting than the big bombastic explosions everywhere, worldwide, the world is ending type, deals for the stories that we've been getting for every superhero property for the last 10 years, if we're being honest. We've lost comms. There's some sort of electrical interference. Oh yeah, you definitely want to get in there. Mystique's pretty much got the entirety of control of your guys' facility at the moment. I wonder if Mystique can only turn into humans, or if she can turn into... No, I'm pretty sure Mystique can turn into animals too, because she did it in X-Men The Evolution cartoon show. She was able to turn into like birds and stuff like that, so that would have been cool if they showed her turn into a bird in this. I like the reveal of what is actually happening with Professor X now, and versus what Jason's making him see. I'm assuming they had to film this same scene with two separate sets. It's either that or they filmed him on a green screen, got the back plates for it, and then just put him over on top of them. But those are the only two ways I could see of them doing it. Oh, they're almost getting in there. There you go. But it's Magneto, as we all know. And just throws him to the wall. There you guys go. I'm putting you down. Why are they doing that echo effect on Mystique? I don't understand that. It kind of sounds weird. It sounds like she's underwater every time she's talking. Yeah. Now this is the start of Wolverine going rogue because he sees Stryker and he just wants to go on his own path. Yeah. How does no one fucking notice Wolverine leave? Like, they're all just in their own little world? Is that all it is? Oh, now you notice Storm? Where's Logan? He went to go get Stryker. Yeah, he's gone. Maybe if you guys didn't have your heads so far up your ass at this point, you guys would have noticed. This whole thing originated off him pretty much wanting Wolverine and to just get a few other mutants to experiment with. Well, I guess it didn't originate with him wanting Wolverine. But when he found out Wolverine was there, he most certainly probably wanted him back, that's for sure. Oh. Man, when you look at the homemade Cerebro that Stryker put together in this, immediate thought that comes to mind is, damn, did they run out of budget for this movie. But no, that's just really good set design. Uh, if anything, maybe Stryker ran out of budget for his project, so that's why it looks the way it does, or that was the way he had to arrange the panels to get it to work the way it did. You could, maybe give some discrepancy about the cleanliness of it, but at the same time, maybe it's just like really rusted, used metal, and that was what he was able to afford. You never know. But look at me trying to give explanations for stuff that probably don't need it. Is it time to find our friends? All of them? I always saw him whispering into his son's ear to get him to say the stuff mentally into Professor X's head. Looked weird from the shot they did, but I get it. It's supposed to be like unsettling and creepy. Good. And Brian Cox plays unsettling and creepy really well, especially when he wants to. Make me proud. Alright, now we're probably going to get him to try and kill all the other mutants now at this point. Closes the door. And I wonder how long it would actually take for Professor X to kill all of the mutants by using this tactic. Because him using the power he does in the Logan movie and in the comic book, I think that only kills mutants within a certain radius, and everyone maybe within that radius as well. So it's not just mutants. But in this one just has him kill mutants. So if this is worldwide, how long would that take as to opposed to that little spot in Manhattan from the X-Men comic book and the Logan movie that they would always reference and talk about? Cyclops! There we go. Sorry, guys, didn't mean to squirrel there for a second. But this is one lover's quarrel we cannot get involved in, my dear. Fucking love Magneto. Yeah, push his ass back. I think this was like the start, though, of Cyclops getting sidelined hardcore like a motherfucker. Especially since he's... Sorry, guys, I keep yawning. I don't mean to. But, I really do think this was the start of Cyclops getting sidelined, especially if he's getting his ass whooped by Jean Grey, because as cool as Jean Grey is, I want Cyclops to succeed more. That might just be me. I like how the kids get scared when Nightcrawler teleports in to their cell. Like, I'd be scared too if some dark blue guy just came into here out of nowhere. Like, that'd be me too. I get it, guys. Cyclops hiding on you. Gonna get you with his laser beam. Guys, let me know in the comments down below what Cyclops' heat vision laser beam is. Is there a specific name for it? Because I always go between heat vision and laser beam whenever I use it as a description. I don't think it's either or, so if one of you guys knows what it is, please let me know. Get more hints of Jean Grey's Phoenix power as she's getting blasted by Scott's heat vision power. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, so you guys are the ones that fucked up the dam, I see. The dam will be fucked up, the dam will be fucked up, but it wouldn't have been if Jean could take control. Oh, now you see the water dripping down. You guys are fucked. You gotta get out of there soon. Yup. Cracks all above you. See, I like when they do stories like this because this isn't high stakes except for the people that are within this, building, this area. I guess that big bang and hit on the head got Cyclops knocked back into his normal head. Yeah, I think that's interesting how he describes it. I could see you, but I couldn't stop myself. Like, how do you develop a serum that's like that? That's pretty fucking... It's pretty fucking evil, for one, but it's also interesting from a plot narrative and a character's direction and how they can do something like that to someone else and how they go about creating something like that that's just a liquid that you drop onto someone's neck with this circle lining that surrounds it. No! That was weird acting. I wanted to lie to that. When William Stryker looks at the gauge panels in his facility to see what the water pressure is like throughout it, that was a little weird of a reaction. I think they could have went with something a little bit better. Looks like Wolverine's almost found the place where he was born. Or at least a place close to it. Because I'm not 100% sure if he was born in the one down below the Alkali Lake facility that's on top, or if he was born in the one on top as the Wolverine with the adamantium skeleton and claws. Let me know what you guys think down below, because I don't know if that's ever properly described in this movie. Because if it was, then that would totally help us with the upstairs of the part of Alkali Lake that looks like it's in ruins. But if they don't, then that would help better my theory I was talking about in the beginning of the episode, with they really fudged up the X-Men Origins Wolverine story to where they could have used more of the sets footage from this to help tell that story more in a believable way than the CGI mess that we did wind up getting. Because even these photos so far that we're seeing in this scene are pretty fucking like horrific kind of to look at. Everything's set up with this like Saw horror-esque aspect to it, and it's cool to see them take such seriousness in this for it being a superhero movie. So the liquid adamantium station, he sees the tool that was used to insert into him. Because in this movie, it's like all manual shit. I don't know why they, in the Origins movie, they make it all fucking automatic, like robotic automatic drills that go into him to do the insertion of the adamantium. Okay, yeah, so judging from these flashbacks, I'm assuming he was born in this underground part, not the upper ground. So what part does the ruins part in the upper ground of the facility supposed to be? If there is any significance to it at all. The tricky thing about adamantium is if you ever manage to process its raw liquid form, you gotta keep it that way. Keep it hot. Because once the metal cools, it's indestructible. But you already know that. Brian Cox, such gravitas in his delivery. And subtleties as well. I used to think you were one of a kind, Wolverine. But I was wrong. And he tries going after him until Lady Deathstrike hits his ass. Yeah, a little bit stronger than you thought, huh, Wolverine? I think they did a video game based off this movie. I don't know if I'm correct or not. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are right. And if anyone knows of any place in Michigan, in the Detroit area or downriver area, that if anyone knows about that, let me know if you know where I might be able to find a copy so I can get it. Because I don't know if it's like they've even PlayStation's remastered it or if it was a Nintendo game. I don't exactly know where I might be able to find it. So please let me know if anyone knows. Yeah, Lady Deathstrike. I like how we always get to see Wolverine heal. Ooh, this was a good fucking shot. Ooh. I don't think Wolverine knows that she can heal or not yet. And if he does, I think it's right about now he finds that out. But yeah, I don't think Lady Deathstrike, like I said before, isn't like from the comics. I think this is just a woman that was given Wolverine's powers, and she was given adamantium, so she isn't a robotic character like she is in the comic books. An android-esque robot. Oh, that would hurt to hit your fucking head off a fucking tile stair into the glass. I don't know how protective that leather suit is. But obviously not from the adamantium. When you get stabbed from it, like you're getting stabbed with a fork multiple times, that would suck. Ugh. Oh yeah, that would suck even harder. Wolverine's getting the business, guys. I'm surprised there wouldn't be more blood dripping down. Yeah, into the fucking water. And Wolverine thinks he's won, but as we all know, it's not quite that easy. She's going to come back eventually. But for now, we're going to cut back to the X-Jet with Pyro being a whiny-ass prick wanting to leave the X-Jet because he's sick of them being treated like kids, even though they are. Yeah, when you're a kid, you always do what you're told. Yeah, actually, when responsible people tell me to do it, I do. And this is the end of Pyro and the X-Men, I do believe. Until they meet again in X3, X-Men The Last Stand. Oh, sneak attack from fucking Lady Deathstrike. Yeah, that would hurt. She got it deep in his back. How do you even get that deeper? Do you have to claw out more? And then Wolverine gets her in the end with the liquid fucking adamantium tool that he was once touching earlier. Yeah, that would probably fucking kill anyone to get liquid adamantium shoved into you like that not unwantingly or unknowingly, but after you already have it within you and you're not set up to get it again. And then they show the liquid adamantium fucking pour through her body. God. They really kind of made this a poetic death. They really did. And now we're back to Professor X as he is breaking through the Cerebro wall, I suppose you could say, trying to find all of the mutants so he can kill them, as he was ordered by Stryker and Jason. Because Stryker's son Jason is still messing with his head using his telepath abilities. Alright, now where are we? I think the guards we're seeing in this hallway right now are trying to guard the room that Professor X and Jason are in, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, yeah, Magneto got to them. That would be so fucking scary if you're a guard or a military soldier of some sort, and you have all these grenades on you, and then all of a sudden the pins get pulled out of nowhere and it wasn't you, and then you all blow up and die. That would be fucked up. Yeah, they were totally guarding the door that Professor X and Jason are in. Concentrate harder. I will say, there was always a lot of good camera work that was always done in these last X-Men movies that we've been covering so far. X-Men and X2, X-Men United. That was a good transition to get to Cyclops and Jean. Yep, here we go. It begins. So the way they depict Professor Xavier trying to kill all the mutants is with this high-pitched sound that's supposed to hurt their brains. And I like how with Mystique, as it's happening to her, she can't control her abilities and she's constantly shifting into other people she's been. I wonder if there was some cameos in there of her turning into maybe some producers or writers or anything like that. If anyone knows about that, let me know down in the comments below. I don't ever remember anything from behind the scenes from this movie about that was pointed out like it would be nowadays. Because, studios are more proud to put that, kind of stuff out there as to where back then they were just kind of yeah, we'll do that. Sure, why not? So, now we're cutting outside where William Stryker's trying to get away in his helicopter. And I think this is now we're back to Magneto. Magneto isn't being affected by this because of his helmet. It protects him from Charles's powers, which is a good thing he had it on him when he started doing what he did, or else he'd be just like Mystique on the ground and begging for help. Looks like Magneto was able to stop Professor X from going any farther. Yep, now he's going in. And we see him walking. I always like Magneto's costume in these movies, but I do think the one from the animated series is just as cool, but I think the one from X-Men Evolution is better. I just think it's more of a more modern design that still in keeps with the overall design of Magneto, which is awesome. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. From here, it doesn't look like they're playing by your rules. Magneto will always try to get the fucking last stab in the back end if he can. Now he's rearranging fucking Cerebro, and I think he's doing it so that he'll, when he tries to do the mutants, he winds up doing just the fucking humans inadvertently. And then Mystique helps out with that by pretending to be William Stryker as well. I do believe so. We'll find out here in a few moments. I'm going to grab something to drink, so if it's quiet, that's why. In comes Mystique. Yep, she does switch over to William Stryker to speak to Jason. Yep. There's been a change of plan, whispers into his ear. Guys, maybe One day, I'll do a commentary reaction over these with the audio descriptions on. Because from what I've seen from the Accolade audio descriptions, those are pretty freaking hilarious. Maybe we'll do one of those on the podcast one day. Oh, they can't resist showing Rebecca Romaine's ass off. Huh. There's always a fucking ass shot of some kind with her character when she's on screen. There's been a change of plans. Now find them. Find all the humans. Kill them. Everywhere. Everyone. Alright, yep, now we're back to William Stryker outside trying to escape on his helicopter. And Wolverine's punched him. Oh, that was so good. Oh, yeah, right in the side. That would fucking hurt. It's like he stabbed him like in his side, but like right below his armpit. Oh, that would not feel pretty good. Yeah. You make it sound as if I stole something from you. Yeah, I don't know exactly what Wolverine's looking for from him, an apology, because I don't even know if that would help. You were just a failed experiment. Yeah. Jesus Christ. You got a man's blade in your side. Maybe not piss him off more than what you already have. You're an animal now. I just gave you the claws. No, he had claws before you, buddy. You gave him metal claws. Let's be more specific. You fucking douchebag. Yeah, you hear that? That means the dam's gonna explode. Look at that motherfucker ready to burst open like some fucking Sunday morning fat bitch going to a buffet for her fucking Tuesday special. I know that made no sense, but it is what it is. What is it? What is it? What is it? Where are the other drugs going? Sorry, wrong franchise. The dam's trying to relieve the pressure. Sounds like we're getting into some porno territory here. The dam! It's trying to relieve the pressure. Yeah, try telling Wolverine what he has been. I do like that, though. He is kind of right, though. Wolverine is a survivor. And so much so to the point where Wolverine accepts that. And when we see him in X-Men Days of Future Past and he meets Magneto when he's younger, he tells him how he's just like him. And Magneto goes, yeah, what's that? And Wolverine tells him straight to his face, you're a survivor, just like me. So I guess that's where we get that line from in that movie. I never thought of that until now. Huh. When you put two and two together. Yeah, got his way out kind of fucked. Oh no, they're trying to get to Professor X now. Yep, that's what's going on. Happy that they're all together now, though. It's always what you want to see in the X-Men movies, the X-Men actually together. You could totally see the wig. That's a wig that Halle Berry's wearing in this. That's not her actual hair. At least that's what it looks like from the lining across her hairline. Was he actually able to get out of that? Oh yeah, but I'm pretty sure Magneto sees him eventually and straps him to a fucking block to the point where he can't get out. Impossible. No, not that impossible, prick. Not when Magneto's on the scene. You always gotta worry about Magneto. As soon as you saw Mystique, you should have known that Magneto was with him, and if you didn't, shame on you, Stryker. Shame on you. Yeah, look at all these humans that they're trying to kill. Why does the president look like he's getting a blowjob at his desk rather than he's being killed? He looked like he was at his desk. Some under the desk action. Oh. Oh. Alright, now we're about to have Storm try to use Scott. As soon as she brings up Nightcrawler to use him for help to Cyclops, she's like, oh, no, who the fuck's this guy? Storm, wait, no, who are you? Oh, yeah, I got faith in you. You can't see where you're going, but I'm going to put faith in you anyways. Literally makes no sense. But we need it narratively, so we're going to go with it, right? Suspend some disbelief here, but don't in others. But is this one of the ones where you're supposed to, or ones where you actually got to give it a little bit of like scrutiny, if that makes sense, guys? All right, they're in there. See, it worked out all well because we needed it to plot wise, but we're in there, guys. And now Jason's trying to mess with them. That's not a real little girl. Yep, a boo, da. They did a good job kind of making Alan Cummings look a little bit different in this movie as Nightcrawler rather than himself. Like there's times where you can see him, but she's just a little girl. No, she's not. Here, I'm gonna freeze the room really quick without your permission. I'm just gonna let you know it's gonna get cold. That way we can get this done and over with. Oh God. So are most of the humans now just looking like that? Crack addicts after that's been happening for so long? Because it doesn't look like it's painful at that point anymore. It just looks like they're almost fucking like mind-numbingly dead. Alright, here we go. It's about to get cold. She said the line, ladies and gentlemen. What are you doing? I think it's funny Jason portrays himself as a little girl versus a little boy, because a little girl comes across as more vulnerable and you would be more willing to probably help, I suppose, rather than a teenage boy, which is what I guess most people would do. But if you're more psychotic and demented, that would make sense. If you're trying to get someone on your side you're not really trying to gain trust with, you're just trying to use them. So look at me putting together my own theories. Ha ha! Alright, Pyro just took off with Magneto and Mystique. And so now those bad guys have left. And we will eventually see what happens to Stryker in this. Because this is the end of Stryker at the end of this movie. He does not come back after this movie. At least as this age of Stryker in this, actor. Next few times we see Stryker, it's when the X-Men are younger in their younger days, when they're, I guess you could say their baby days, when they're first starting out in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. He's gonna be so angry at me. No, it's alright, you don't have to worry about him being angry at you. Don't worry. Did they just leave Jason in this room when they wind up walking out of there? I know they haven't gotten to that point yet. For anyone wondering, we are at 1 hour and 48 minutes into the movie and 30 seconds. So we're almost to the end, guys. Does anyone know, though, if they just leave Jason there to die or if they try to save him at all at some point? Because normally X-Men try to save whoever they can. Although, would they just leave him because he already, kind of seems dead from what his dad did to him? Oh, yeah, gotta get out of there now, guys. There's no time to wait. Yeah, they just straight leave him in there. Fuck. That's not very fucking super heroic of you, X-Men. Alright, now we're all rushing to get out of this place. We're running down hallways. We're watching the spillway get flooded with water. Wolverine's trying to catch up with the rest of the X-Men. It's go time. We gotta get out of here, guys. Let's go. It's a race to the finish line. I fucking love Storm's X-Men suit in this movie. It's so fucking badass and sexy looking. Yeah, Wolverine, let's go. Fucking get to him. Huff and puff, let's go. Andale, andale. Here we go. And yes! Magneto's prediction was right. All he had to do was stab it to fucking get the spillway to close. Fuck yeah. You don't want to go that way, trust me. I love that line. Well, alright, I was wrong earlier in it was the middle point of the movie where I thought Magneto was supposed to be here with them, watching Wolverine where he rubs that in his face. But he's not. He already took off. But alright, Wolverine got to him in time, so now he's going to take him to the other way to get out of there. Alright, the dam's about to burst open. Yep, here we go. It's cracking more. I think it's about to break. They need to get to the X-Jet. Alright, where are they going? Come on, guys. Little toad kid from the beginning of the movie that stuck his tongue out. That's who Wolverine just picked up, in case anyone was wondering. Alright. Yeah, he was banking on the helicopter being there. That Mystique and Magneto and Pyro flew off in. But look, you guys hear that off in the distance? What does that sound like? Oh, it sounds like it's Rogue and the Blackbird. Yeah, she just tries flying something she's never fucking flown before and landing something she's never landed before. So, I give her props for at least trying. But, maybe Bobby could have fucking helped a little instead of taking fucking back seat behind her. Now look at how fucking shaken she looks. Alright, come on. We gotta get to the jet, guys, and go. Before the dam breaks and we all die. Let's go. But we all know one person's gonna die anyways, because they're the hero of the story. But, here we go. Wolverine's got the Toad Kid. Or with the kid with the toad tongue, however you guys want to say it, with the green, long, toad-like tongue. I think he finally spots Stryker, and he's about to go say something to him. Come on, guys, let's go. Team Rah-Rah. Alright, they're all almost to the X-Jet. Alright, yep. Wolverine's finally found Stryker. And he's chained to this wall like no other. He ain't getting out of that, that's for damn sure. Yeah, he's begging for his life right now. That's basically what this is. Who has the answers? That creature in your arms or me? This is his last attempt at trying to fucking live and survive. I'll take my chances with him. Yep, Wolverine, a fucking hero. Like in the final trailer of Deadpool and Wolverine where he says, you were a hero. You were an X-Man. Fuck it, you were the X-Man. Wolverine really is. Scott, you've got to get to Washington. You must sense something the president's about to do. I fear this has gone beyond Alkali Lake, yeah? Alright, here we go. They're all fucking on the jet. Let's go. Go, go, go. You okay? I am now. Wolverine got some closure over his past with this movie. I like that. I guess I never kind of saw that in my younger days of watching this. But, it always seems like he always still gets haunted by it in the later movies when his solo ones, especially when he gets haunted by Jean's death. So, those two things always kind of seem prevalent to the character in those other ones, and the other movies. I mean, when he gets the solo ones. So, alright, the dam finally busted, guys. Water is spewing all over the place. It's getting wet, guys. It's getting real wet. Jean Grey senses it. This is where she probably goes out to try and stop it from killing everyone. As they try to figure out what's going on with the jet. When the jet's probably fucked up from the shitty-ass landing that Rogue did. I don't understand why this was the route, though, they went with to get Jean to become the Phoenix. To me, this part never made sense because in the comics, Jean gets infected with the Phoenix when they go on a mission in space. It's not something that she's just had within her this whole time. So, that's a change they made from the comic book to the movie, if anyone was wondering. But if you've seen the newer X-Men movies, they did do that with the younger cast. And then they also did it in the X-Men the animated series. So. Panting? Yeah, I'd be panting too if I had a limp in my leg. And I had to go walk like you. Alright, guys. She's doing the heroic thing. I don't know how she used her powers to get the jet to work. But they couldn't get it to work on its own. That part doesn't make sense. I will say that. But alright, the dam's coming down finally. It's not just spewing out water anymore. The motherfucking thing's falling apart at this point. Now Jean's going to try and get the jet raised as she tries to stop the water from hitting around them. Here we go. We're about to see Stryker get pelted with water and just die. Here we go. Here it comes. Here we go. Oh. Yep, Jean's fucking doing her Jesus thing. Flowing the water around the fucking jet. I will admit, visually this looks really fucking cool. I'll give the fucking movie that and the story writers that. It looks visually cool. But I just don't understand why this was the choice they went with to get her. And I will say it's pretty cool that they do kind of throw in, like, Wolverine tells Nightcrawler to go get her, and he tries to, and he says that she's stopping him from doing it, and you can kind of visually see that and hear it. Although I do think it's weird she chose to have her voice go through Professor X and not someone like Storm. Because it was really weird to hear this, like, loving heart fucking speech be given through Patrick Stewart. No. Having a hard time there, Jean? As she lights up more with the Phoenix fire. I will say the graphics for it look somewhat they don't look bad, but they look good for the times. But I do kind of remember that scene that where like her Phoenix powers start prominently showing a little bit more there near the end and her hands up like that. I remember that being another iconic scene in the movie theaters. Now Cyclops and Wolverine are trying to accept the fact that she's gone and dead. I actually think this is a really good scene. Oh yeah, this is a really good scene. Showed Halle Berry even getting emotional. Oh shit, I think this is getting me emotional too. Well, that's what happens when you got good actors. I keep telling you guys, James Marsden, Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Jessica Famkin, Sir Patrick Stewart, they are all just powerhouse actors. Even Alan Cummings doing his little part to see that his co-stars doing their best to pull off this scene as they're upset because they just lost their friend. Oh, it's such a good scene. That's all I can say about it. I'm sorry, guys. I kind of got moved by it myself. From the acting from Hugh Jackman trying to hold up James Marsden to Halle Berry just kind of trying not to fall apart while she flies the plane away after they were just saved by Jean. To anybody that has lost someone close to you, it is so hard to describe the feeling of loss that you get, especially on who it is that you've lost and how much that love you had for them was. And depending on if it was your wife or just a family member or a parent, they can be different kinds of losses as well. So, all right, guys, we're at the White House now where the president is making a speech. This is an iconic scene too. I think everyone remembers this scene from the end of the movie. That's where we're at now, guys. We're at 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 9 seconds. Yep, X-Men are pretty much breaking into the White House so they can give their own speech to the president. That's pretty much what this is. It's B&E at the White House, guys. Would you agree or disagree? Let me know down in the comments. President's looking all flabbergasted. What the hell is going on here? The room's getting dark. It's getting cloudy, stormy outside. Everyone froze. This guy's fucking has his pen just hanging in his mouth. What the shit is going on? Oh yeah, there's the X-Men. They're just all creepily snuck in somehow. How do you sneak a guy in a wheelchair into a room? Can someone explain that to me? Can someone fucking explain to me how you sneak a fucking guy in a gigantic either metal based wheelchair into a fucking room? And don't tell me it was Nightcrawler, because you would have heard his fucking his little queef fart fucking shafting fucking sounds that he makes when he teleports. When he uses his power. Or did you just hand fucking the president some divorce paperwork for you guys and him? Yeah. Yeah. Let's just say I know a little girl who can walk through walls. Presidents in these older movies were always flabbergasted by the people with powers. You guys break into his house, hand him paperwork that he has no clue how you had access to, ask you if you're threatening him, and say this is not a threat. Oh, I feel like this goes way beyond a threat at this point. No, that's to say the least, guys. How many fucking soldiers did you guys kill while you were there? And you guys lost Jean Grey. I feel like the bad guys lost way more people than you guys did at this point, not for nothing. A moment to repeat the mistakes of the past, or to work together for a better future. We're here to stay, Mr. President. Alright, guys, it's official. After rewatching this part of the movie, I feel like X-Men are a bona fide gang for what they just did here. This is a pretty cool scene, though, how they all just fucking disappear. You know, the only other thing I can imagine to how they snuck in there is that maybe Professor Xavier froze the president for a second while they all went in there, did their posing thing, and then let him go again so they could talk to him. Now everyone else is wondering what the shit's going on with the president. Because none of them know what just happened, which is very interesting. Alright. See, they never fucking show what the president was going to do after that. I feel like that would have been more of a better decision to do rather than just cut away from it and put your own thoughts together on it. Alright, guys, but we're back at the X-Mansion, and Professor Xavier is talking with Cyclops and Wolverine about the loss of Jean and kind of what she meant to everyone there and what she feared. Cyclops really can't fucking bear the loss of his love. And neither can Wolverine, but Wolverine's taking it a little bit better than he is. And as you can tell when we get to X-Men 3, he definitely took it better than Cyclops did. Cyclops is a mess when we meet him in X3. Yeah, she did make a choice. You guys gotta live with that. Why the writers chose for her to make that choice, I couldn't tell you, but they did. The writers went there. And now Professor Xavier is about to teach a class as Cyclops and Wolverine walk out and have their own little conversation. Alright. Yeah. Of course it was always him. What do you mean she made a choice and it was him? There was never a you guys. Oh my god, like I know you guys had this like flirtatious thing going on there at the end, but like you guys were never a knight in Wolverine. I'm sorry, you weren't. She was always with Scott. She always loved Scott. She never once broke up with him to be with you. Yeah, you guys kissed once in this movie, but that was it. Oh, I swear, sometimes some of the writing can be a little forgetful in this movie. Alright, what is Professor X staring at? Or was he sense Jean Grey in the Phoenix? That's probably what it was. Yes, I think it will be. I don't know why I'm going all Asian accent with him. It's a little weird, isn't it? Alright. Guys, we're almost to the end here. We're at 2 hours and 4 minutes and 31 seconds. Oh, 34 seconds now. Sorry, guys. Going a little fast on me. Mutation. Now we're closing out the movie with narration from Jean Grey, which wasn't how we ended the last X-Men movie. I don't think we had a narration at the end of it. Looking over the ocean over Alkali Lake, or the lake, Alkali Lake. And then you slowly start to see the Phoenix revealed under the water. I actually think this is kind of like a cool scene. Like, for what they did in the movie, it's all cool and good. I really liked it. And that's it, guys. We hit the credits. That's directed by Bryan Singer. Screenplay by Michael Dougherty, Dan Harris, and David Harity. Story by ZACK Penn and David Harity and Bryan Singer. All right, guys. Like I said, that's the credits. I really enjoyed this movie. The ending with seeing the phoenix in the water kind of slowly appear, flapping its wings, I think is cool. As much as I wish they would have went a different direction with some of the choices they made, that's not to say I didn't like the choices that they did go with. I think they still work within the movie that they made. Other than that, this movie is still probably my favorite X-Men movie out of the original trilogy. The story just is better than the first one and the third one, and not too many people even like the third one, but I still like the third one, mostly because we get to see Angel in that movie. It's not much of them, but we still get it. But this movie really does tell a good job at doing Wolverine's backstory, giving us more hints at it, or more flashbacks. His past with William Stryker. They nailed the actor to play him in this movie, and then they also nailed the love story between, or the love triangle story between Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, James Marsden's Cyclops, and Femke Jensen as Jean Grey, or Jensen, however you say her name. I'm not even going to try to deal with that bottle of fucking crazy cats right now. But they nailed that love triangle between them in this movie. Now, why Wolverine has the gall to say that she chose Cyclops at the end baffles me. I feel like the writers just had to throw that in there because they needed some like last minute dialogue for the two. But like, she flirted with you a little bit and she kissed you once. It's not like you guys dated. And if you guys did date off camera, off screen, that needs to be explained to the audience on fucking camera so that we know about it. And if it didn't happen, then tough nuts to you, Wolverine. Sorry. So, but start to finish, this movie is terrific. It has really great action, terrific drama, really good comedic scenes that stand out till this day. And the acting prowess throughout is just terrific. Rebecca Romijn, Femke Jensen, Halle Berry, Hugh Jackman, Sir Ian McKellen, Sir Patrick Stewart, James Marsden, Alan Cummings. Just a stroke of terrific actors, to name a few. So, if you guys haven't seen the movie before this, watch along with me. I'm hoping that you enjoyed it just like I did. If not, let me know in the comments why you didn't like it, but let me know for what reasons you didn't like it. Don't just tell me you didn't like it or you hated it for no reason. Give me a reason why. We'll have some open and clear discussions where we all can get along and we can have healthy debates. So, this is the end of episode 2 for X-Men The Uncanny Evolution podcast. Go ahead and look back for the first episode where we break down X-Men, the first movie from 2000, and look forward to episode 3 of this podcast where we cover X3, X-Men The Last Stand, the last movie in the original Fox trilogy of X-Men before they started to do the solo Wolverine movies and reboot the franchise. So, with that being said, you all have a wonderful day. Love ya, and that's all, folks.
Get my shit straight, tried that, got shit faced. Wisecrack, leave a hip replacement. Handicap, leave you short on patience. Short with me, treat this like vacation. In a plastic baggie, I hold my psyche. Don't even try me, smoke it all, trail a ghost behind me. What's a front, always blinding. Anytime, anywhere, any place you could find me. It ain't like I'm getting